With each sip, I am manifesting my prayers and intentions for mental clarity and awareness, more towards helping myself, those around me, and the whole world. May my heart always be wide open, receiving and giving in an endless love affair with life. Help me cultivate the mother and wild woman within and feel her without. May I be sensitive and strong in that, so I may reach all beings, suffering and prosperous, exactly where they are. And most of all, please keep me humble and grateful to be alive, to be a woman, and to be able to pray for the benefit of others.
आद पुरख अपरन फरकरता जी तुझ जेवड़ आवरना कोई तू दापे भावे सो वरते जी तू आपे करे सो हुई तुझ आपे सृष्टि सब पाई जी तुझ आपे सृष्टि सब गोए जी जो सबसे का जान हुए वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
Probably know what the wish is. In the card.
So when I was in India, I obviously drank a lot of chai. Chai just means tea, but so you would say masala chai because that's like spiced tea. And some mornings when I was in Rishikesh, I would go down to the banks of the Ganges, or the Ganga, Jai Ma Ganga Ji, and I would do my yoga there because that's where I did my yoga teacher training as well. And then I would go into the river. I would do it 3 times for Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and then I would come out and I would meditate on the banks of the river. So shanti. And then on the banks of the river there's this Babaji who lives there. Babajis can be kind of, they're still just men, you know, they're still just men, but anyway, he had an ashram which was for like, there was a Shiva Linga there, not a Shiva Linga, there was like a big Shiva there, and he had a little ashram with like Hanuman and Krishna and Durga. That's where I learned about Durga, and he invited me for chai one time, so I went, and he showed me how to do puja for Hanuman and Durga, and he also taught me how to make chai, masala chai, authentic Indian masala chai. So I'm going to show you now how I make masala chai. I actually haven't made this in a while, so this might slightly test my memory, but so I moved back to uni. I made this like every day when I got home from India, and now I'm back at uni. So you do like half a quill of cinnamon. This is for like 2 to 3 people, I would say. Half a quill in here, and then what? Cardamom. You want like 2 of these, you know, like just 2, maybe 3. Hold up. Okay, apologies. I'm making this for 2 people, or like 2 to 3. So 2 cardamom pods. Whole cloves. I usually take like, these are quite strong, these cloves, so like usually just like 1, but sometimes I'll do 2. Also, I don't have fresh ginger, and you should really put fresh ginger in this. I have ground ginger. I might put like a little bit of ground ginger in the mixture, but like always use fresh ginger. And then also you need star anise, but this is quite strong, so like only like don't be doing too much of this. Like do maybe, we quite like star anise in our family. We like a lot of licorice. My mum ate a lot of licorice when she was pregnant, so we like that flavour. So we're gonna use half, but this is strong, so you don't even have to put this in. And then you want some black pepper as well, wherever that black pepper is. Whole black peppercorns. This is just basically this like same stuff that goes into like Zeg, which my friend makes. I don't know, this is supposed to be like a 1/4 of a teaspoon, so I usually just put in like 5 or 6 maybe. But again, actually pepper makes my mum sneeze a lot, so I won't be putting in too much of that. You know, it's all just measuring with the heart. Put that in there. Yeah, cloves, cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, ginger, don't have, but I will put a little bit of powder in the mixture. So you can kind of play with your ratio of water to milk, but I like to do sort of 1 to 1. If you want it creamier, you can do 2 milk to 1 water, or if you want it lighter, you can do 2 water to 1 milk, or you can just do pure milk or pure water if that's what you want to do. It's more groovy. So this is 1.5 cups of water, and I'm just going to pour my spices into the water now, and maybe just a pinch of the ginger. So now you kind of just want to let the spices like get up to boil, and then you just like let it simmer. And then when it's simmering, you add your loose leaf tea, or your tea bags. You do 1 tea bag per person, or you do a teaspoon of tea per person. Also, when you add your tea, you can also add your sugar. This is also optional. You can do, I think in India it's normal to put in like 3 teaspoons of sugar per person. That's crazy. So I usually just do 1 teaspoon of sugar per person. You can add more or take less out, but like India and their sugar is crazy. So if you're using fresh ginger, it's really important to use it before you put the milk in, because otherwise if the ginger doesn't sort of like get to boiling point before you put the milk in, it like curdles the milk. So now you see my spices have heated up. So now I'm going to add my tea and then my sugar, and then after that's like boiled, I'll put in my milk. I'm using coconut milk today. This is with the tea and the sugar added. So now, same as before, I'm using coconut milk today. You should really use cow milk, but I just can't drink cow milk. So I'm going to do 1.5 cups of this. So like it's like 3 cups altogether, but I've done the ratio 1 to 1, like milk to water. So this is with the milk in it. You can add or take away more milk if you want to, but now you basically turn the heat up to full, and you're gonna double boil this, sorry. So like you let it get really bubbly all the way to the top, you take it off the heat, that's 1 boil or whatever, and then you do the same thing again, that's twice. And then after you've double boiled it, so the reason you do this is because it like mixes the cow fat into the milk, So it doesn't really matter with like non-cow milk, but we're doing it anyway for the authentic experience. This is what I mean by like boiling it. You let it, sometimes it doesn't do it in these like induction hobs though, because they like sort of turn off and turn on again. But it will do it now, like it's like coming up to the top, and then like as soon as it reaches the top, right before it spills over, you take it off the heat. Like now. And you just let it come down. And then you basically just put it back on and do the same thing again. And then take it off again. And then when that goes down, you just put it back on the heat, and then you can just let it like simmer for as long as you like, until it's like the right colour. Until it's like your desired colour, but like definitely turn the heat down now because you don't want it to do the double boil thing again. I think this colour looks really good. I don't know if it's because I'm using coconut milk or too much tea. You know, you've really got to measure with your heart with this stuff. But now I'm just gonna sieve it into these cups. There you have 3 beautiful cups of coconut milk chai.